Good morning. Good morning. Everyone's doing well. Just executed some buys here. We're going to go ahead and do some analysis together. I'll go ahead and break down these charts. So we currently have, just delete everything here. We currently actually do have a really big reaction from the zone. So two really big reactions from this zone right here. Price came into it, and I shared this zone yesterday, and price moved away from it with literally like no drawdown. Price moved around 220 pips. Really big move yesterday. So let's see. It looks like price has come literally right down to the zone again. I did catch these buys on this candle right here, as it was moving up, as it rejected the area of demand. I was asleep when that happened, but I saw that huge liquidity grab and I thought, couldn't help myself but take a decent trade with some good confirmation. So let's go ahead and just have a look at the higher time frame. So let's just delete everything on the chart. So we currently have the current weekly candle moving up, and it's already filled the previous weekly candle's wick, and we've broke the high. So we're currently, this week's printed some new all-time highs, and the current daily, as we can see, has filled majority of yesterday's daily wick, and it is moving down. So let's just go ahead and have a look right here. One second, just bear with me a minute. So as we can basically see right here, we've got a lot of price action printing above this level at 29.28, which is that level that I discussed yesterday. So let's just go ahead and pull mine at 1 second and make this a lot easier to see. Okay, cool. So we currently have price printing above this level at 29.28, and we're basically just stuck in this range. So this is basically printing a range right above here. As you can see that there was this resistance formed, and we've got a support formed, and it seems as though that the current daily candle has basically nearly broken the low, and it hasn't broke the high. So if we just try and understand what's going on here, it seems as though the volume might be dying for the buys, even though we are holding above 29.28. So let's just go ahead and have a look to see what's going on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so we can basically see that we've printed this higher high, and this is the higher low that's printed this higher high. So until this higher low gets, and it is a tradable range. So let's just go ahead on a smaller time frame, on the 2-hour, and let's go ahead and break it down. Okay, so we can see that the 2 hour has also rejected this area of support at 29.25. So we've got this area where price is rejected. I'll just put a line there. And we've got the most recent resistance formed on the 2 hour at 29.40. So we're currently in about 150 pip range right now. Price has moved down in the Asian session with lots of bearish volume. So let's go to the 1 hour time frame and let's see what's going on. So we can see that the 1 hour has actually rejected this area right here. We've come down, we've had multiple rejection zone. So we've had a rejection right here, and we've also had another rejection right here. The current 1 hour candle has made a steep bottom wick, and it has respected the low. So I am anticipating a potential to fill this wick on the hourly. That's what I was looking at for my buy scenario, but it seems as though price isn't going to fill the wick. So let me just go ahead and have a look, see how I can manage this. Okay, so let's just go ahead and so we can see that the 30-minute time frame is printing and is about to close in the next 9 seconds with a really weak bullish candle. It did break the highs. I was anticipating the wick fill, but that hasn't come. So if this current 30 will break the low of the previous 30, then I'm more than likely definitely going to cut some risk on this trade. So let's just see what's going on. So we're basically just in this range. We closed below this, like this support right here, and then we've basically closed right back in the range. So, and now we're just moving sideways. So if we can get a closure, or if I can get a closure above this area at 29.31, I would say that there's a high probability price could potentially come up to retrace some of this move and then potentially continue to move down if that's what the higher time frame wants to do. So let's just go ahead and have a look at that. I'm going to mark out these zones right here, and then I'm going to go and have a look at some buy zones and sell zones. So this is the most recent resistance that we have rejected on the last 30, and this is the most recent support formed within this range on the 15-minute time frame. Okay, all these wicks on the 15-minute time frame, we've got one resistance up here. So let me just go ahead and okay. Yes, I'm going to leave it here for now, and let's see what all these wicks mean on the 15-minute down here. Okay, so yeah, they still hold all right on the 30. So I'm going to adjust it just here. I'm going to adjust it to here simply because there is multiple rejections. If price can come up to this area, I will be looking to take some partials off. And like I said, if this candle does break the low of the previous 30, then I will be managing my risk. I currently am in buys from 29.70 now. So at least be looking for the wick fill, and my stop loss was below this previous 30, but obviously, of course, like I said, I'm up about 10 pips again. So let's just see what it wants to do. So definitely going to be buys on close above here. And let me just go and have a look. Okay, so we've closed above here. I'm just trying to have a look at what price has done above this level. So we can see that we closed above. we've closed above this area right here at 29.32. And this is what we've done in the past. So we've closed above this area with this closure right here. This closure right here. And we pushed up to this area, which is 29.36. So we pushed up to around 29.36. Okay. And that's where I'll be looking. See that we did close above that level again right here, but we basically moved down. But we did come from all the way down here. So I'm not sure if that aligns with the current price action, but I don't think it does because we did come down in the Asian session. Okay, so we did tap into this level right here before continuing to move up. Let's just go ahead and have a look. Okay, so we also did close above right here with this closure again. So we've got another closure above the zone, and we moved up to this level of rejection right here at 35. So we closed above and we moved to about 35. I will put this resistance here because it's lining up with this area right here that it also closed above. So we've got another closure above here, and it pushed up to around 36 again. So I'm up again around 15 pips. So I'm going to potentially close some partials on one position. I'm going to close 50% of my profits right now on this trade. I'm up around 20 pips. Yeah, I'm up around 20 pips. So there we go. I've just closed 50% at 20 pips. And I'm going to try and see if we can get some sort of push to fill not the previous candles hourly, because it obviously closed bearish. I think it did. Yeah, it did close bearish. So we've broken the previous hourly high now. So this current candle should have absolutely no business breaking its own high. And that's what I'm looking at for this buys that I'm in at the moment. This candle, previous hourly candle, and then continuing to move up. So let's go ahead and okay, so I'm up some decent profits right now. I'm up about 30 pips. It's coming up to 30 pips. So yeah, I'm just gonna let it run to see if we can potentially move up to fill at least to 33 areas, and we can get that closure above 31.30. So as we can see, there's multiple breaks and close above, and we've moved to about 35. So as we can see that right here, we can also see another closure right here, and we moved and rejected 36.86, that area right there. So yeah, I would say a TP at about 36.86 would be a very, very strong TP at that point, because we have moved above this area and then rejected that price level multiple times now. So that's where I'm looking to take more partials off of my trades. And as you can see, yeah, it does line up with this resistance here. It probably does on the, support on hourly time frame. Yeah, it does. So as you can see, you've got a very, very strong hourly resistance right here, disrespected multiple times with current price action today. So let me just go ahead and have a look at some higher time frame buy and sell zones. And let me also move my stop loss to break even on this trade. There we are. So we are moving up nicely. Let's see if we can get that candle closure above, and then we can continue to potentially fill this range, because we do have clean candles to the left. So what I can see. Okay. See what the current 2 hour looks like. 4 hour. Could potentially fill this wick. Yeah, looks good. Okay, so any news that what's happened for price to do that? Um, okay, nothing. It's interesting. So let's go and see what we have going on today. Quite a lot going on today. We've got that PMI. So we've got flash PMI today. So let's see if we can get some movement. If we can get some movement, there's definitely going to be some sort of volatility coming to the market with those red folders. We have got quite a, so let's see if we can get some sort of movement. But at the moment, we've formed resistance here, moved down. Yeah, it is quite tricky, you know. It really is quite tricky to look for some zones. I mean, we did have a really good reaction off of the buy on yesterday. Supply right here. Yeah, this price come into this area of supply right here. Moved away from it in the Asian session. Look at that. Okay, so we are coming up to fill most of the wick. I am going to go ahead and close some more partials on my position. We are coming up to that 33 area. There we go. So I'm just going to let the rest run now to around 35 or 36 if price to get there. And if we can get that closure above, I've still left me. But the only problem is that it was created in the Asian session. So there would be Asian liquidity above here. So, I mean, it's not the most ideal time frame to form this area of supply. But this is nonetheless, this is what I would be looking at. So for sales, it does look really good to potentially, if we can get a closure below 927, it does look really, really good to potentially continue down to fill this wick right here. And then to continue down, we do have clean range till around 29, which is 70 pip range. So I did take some more partials off right here. Get this 15-minute resistance right here. But if there is volume in the market, we should completely disrespect this 15-minute resistance and move to fill these wicks. But this is a times that the 30-minute did come up and close back in the range, you know, multiple times. So this is a rejection area right here. Um, this area right here is a rejection area. So the current candle on the 30-minute time frame has pushed up. Yes, we did get that 15-minute candle closure above, but ultimately this this 30-minute candle can move straight back into the range and, and then potentially continue down to move lower. So as we can see that the order flow with the most recent price action is more simply because the sheer size of the bearish candles moving down are just really, really big. So, this is technically risky, but the higher time frame lines, like I did mention earlier, we are overall still bullish simply because we have taken out the higher time frame, higher lows. One I can see is quite far away, what would be down here, 29.13. Looks like a good area to potentially take a buy. Does align the highest times this. Let's see if flash PMI can get priced down here. Um, but yeah, let's see if what the 15 minutes do on the current candle. Let's see how it's moving. Okay, so it's moved up and filled most of the previous candle's top wick, but it has actually not formed the bottom wick. So if price can move down to retest this 31.30 level and then potentially still close above this most recent 15-minute resistance. But even if it doesn't, that would have meant that 30 would have basically closed above, which would add some decent weight to this trade to potentially continue up to 36. Just literally give me a couple of minutes. I'm gonna come back. Just give me a minute. I'll be back in a minute. I'm back. I'm back. So we did actually move down. We did actually move down to come to tap into this area. So let's see what it wants to do. If price can maintain above this level, um, we should get a continuation to continue, like to push up. So yeah, let's just be patient and wait for the 30 to close. We have broke the previous hourly high. So yeah, I mean, let's just be patient and wait to see what happens because the candle closure is the most important thing about a candle, about where it closes, and that will give you the confirmation that you need to execute with confidence. So that's one of the most important things. If you don't have confidence in the trade, it could be an A plus setup, um, but you don't know it's an A plus setup. So it's also important to find out, what are your A plus setups, and then execute on those with a little bit more size because they don't play out, they don't show up as often as the B trades or the B plus trades, um, where you'd potentially execute with a little bit lower risk than the A plus setup. Yeah, so if you don't have confidence, it's always good to build that with back testing and forward testing. We've got 3 minutes left till this candle to close. We've got 3 minutes left. And it's very important because this candle can easily just close back in a range, especially where it's printed bearish right now. So yeah, I mean it's very important to have a clear plan and and a clear plan to what you're waiting for. Because if you're not, you're literally just trading with no direction, no direction with where you're going. It's like literally walking in the dark. You just don't know where you're going. So if you're trading with a vision and with a direction plan, then you can potentially, wait for that setup. So let me just go ahead and draw exactly what I need. So this candle can close a little bit bigger, and that's one thing that's very important to do. Always like visualize the setup that you want to see. So potentially like buy scenario, the sell scenario, and all the different scenarios that you have that can potentially that can potentially play out. So, like for example, I'm gonna show you an example right here. So we're moving back in the range, but let's say for example it goes like this. This is a scenario that I would like to see, and then a bottom wick printed, tap 31.35, and then we can potentially get flip the wick fill right here, and then this continuation up. This is what I would like to see personally. If we do break and close above on the 30, there is a high probability to move up. We've got about a 1 minute and 30 seconds left, and we are in the range. So let's just see what happens within the next 1 minute. Or if we basically do get the current candle, closing like the way it is, and we get price doing something like this, and then forming this resistance right here, which it basically did um, right here, basically did that right here, and this resistance right here, if we can get that push down, potentially close below this area or even right at it, I'll be happy to potentially take some sort of impulse entries if we can create a top wick and then break the low. That's what I would be looking at. So these are the scenarios that we have. We have two scenarios. Also, yeah, so this is what I would like to see. So it's very important to do this every single day when you come to the market. When you come to the market, draw out the exact setups that you're waiting for and wait for those because that's just going to be the key thing is to draw the setups. But then the most important part is to actually sit on your hands and wait for those setups to play out. And at the end of the day, that's just the hardest thing to do because you will see price, potentially moving the way it has above, and then you might get in and look, price is closing right back in the range. So the 15-minute has closed bearish, right back in the range with no bottom wick. So that potentially does mean that there is no more range for this current candle to move down, but the probability hasn't aligned because we have this 30-minute area of resistance right here and price is closed below it. So my stops are at break even. So if this, doesn't highs because it seems as though we're struggling to break the highs. You have a look right here. We're like sort of making like lower highs. That's what it seems like. You can see that curve um, on the price section of the wicks. So yeah, I mean, let's see. We've only got a one lot running, so if it comes back to my break even, that's completely fine. It looks like it is literally about to hit my break even point. Wow, that's like half a pip away. Insane. Okay, so yeah, let's see what happens. I mean, now we have to wait for the next 30 candle to close, and yeah, that's all we can do really is just sit on our hands and wait for volume to come in and potentially move the market up or down. We don't know where it's going to move. Else. So yeah, it looks like it is moving up right now. But yeah, definitely take note of that. Drawing the exact setups that you want to see. That's a key thing. It's going to help you stick to your plan. It's going to help you stick to taking high probability trades. And I think that's where a lot of people like lose money, and that's where I would lose money because in the more like beginning part of trading, because I would have a set plan, a set trading plan, a set edge, and I would not stick to the edge. So I mean, it takes time to build, the resilience of seeing the market moving without you and just not feeling a fucking thing. So And yeah, so I mean that takes a lot of time. So it's okay to miss a move. Always remember that it's better to miss a move than to be in a losing trade that wasn't part of the plan. If it was a losing trade that was part of the plan, then, that's just part of the game. That's part of you know trading. But if it's a loss that's not part of your plan, then that's when it gets annoying. And then what makes it even worse is that you would probably see your setup that you drew play out and close the way you want it to, and then it would move where you expect it to go. So yeah, just just definitely take note of that. Reynolds, let's go. Morning, Els. Morning, morning. That morning. Internet is lagging. I know, bro. They don't they don't give the highest megabyte speed in my area. It's actually quite fucking shit, bro. I don't know if you've got any suggestions for me, bro, to get like really fast internet. But if you do, let me know. Starlink, bro. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have a look into that. Let me actually have a look at that right now. Starlink. Let me just also see my internet speed as well. I'll go on Google test internet speed. Okay, so we're moving up again. The previous candle, did close back in a range on the 30. So let's just wait and see. So I believe that when you're streaming, it would be classed as like upload, and not download. So yeah, now look at this. Look at this, boys. Um, Screenshot this to you. Yeah, that's my speed right now. It's absolutely appalling, mate. 16 megabytes upload, and yeah, that's the fastest that I could get. Um, and that was the most expensive plan as well. Not that that fucking obviously made a difference. Yeah, let me check out Starlink now. Alright. So these are the zones that I'm looking at today. So this is the level of supply that I'm looking at for some cells today. It wasn't created in the most ideal time, but it did come up to reject and take out these highs. It did come up into this pre-NY supply right here. I don't know if you remember, boys, but that sell that was called yesterday absolutely dumped. So that's the second day in a row that London created the high of the day. As you can see here, let me just go to indicators so everyone can see a bit easier. But yeah, right here, you can see that London session created the high of the day. It took out the Tokyo high, and then it basically made the high of the day, which was yesterday, Thursday. And then again, London made the high of the day before moving down. A big retracement into New York, and then it pushed up to take out the high. So the exact same thing happened yesterday, but the only difference is that there wasn't enough volume to take out the high. So we did form this area of supply right here with this big move down that was like, um, yeah, so price basically came into this supply in the Asian session yesterday night, rejected it, and it took out this area of liquidity right here that was resting above the New York session high. Yeah, so prices reacted off of that. So, I mean, it's not created in the most ideal times. Obviously, you have the session liquidity above. So, yeah, that's the zone I'll be looking at for sells. And for buys, this zone right here. This zone right here is what I'll be looking at for buys. Okay, so we have moved down. So let's see if this 15-minute is going to move above and the 30 is going to close above. Let's just wait and see. If we do get a 30 candle closing above, that would be the fourth 30-minute candle. You know, so we have had one, two, and then if this 30 closes above, we will have the London Open candle, which would be the fourth 30 minutes. So let's see if we can get structure printed above this area. Yeah, see, that's why it's so important to be patient with the market. It's so important to have patience because like most of the mistakes that traders make is all to do with making money. It literally is. FOMO, you know, you missed the trade, so you didn't make money. You're thinking about the money that you could have made that you didn't make. You know, it could be over leveraging and taking a loss. It's all got to do with making money because you over leverage because you wanted to put more size on because you know you're not necessarily the best at managing risk. So all you were thinking about was making money. So as a trader, we're all here to make money. But if you stop caring about making the money, it will make you more patient. It will make you better at managing risk because you're not so focused on making money. Um, yes, I just think That's gonna be very important as a trader. You always put making money on the back burner and building habits that you know that will make you money over a long period of time over making money. Because at the end of the day, if you build the right habits and you consistently stick to your rules, then the money will just be the byproduct of the habit of you sticking to the plan. So yeah, it looks like um it's a little bit boring. I was actually looking for some volume today, but I mean, if price comes down because we are sort of back in the range you're looking for potential sales below, but yeah, you would need to see some and then some sort of move down. But I would like to see price potentially holding up below this level. So if we actually just go ahead to the left hand side and have a look at what price has done below 27, so we can see where the highest areas, probability will be of rejection. So we can see that there's multiple rejections right here, which would be this wick fill. So that would definitely be an area once it's filled that wick, potentially secure. We do have clean candles all the way down until 20, but section was bullish at that time. Um, Trying to look for some bearish um, examples. Okay, so we've closed below here and we moved into this area right here. It's a good area to take some parcels off if price does close below 27. So it's about 40, 30 to 40 pip range, which is ideal support here. But we also did come from right. So 29.33 first, decrease of the 30-minute candle can close above. But yeah, at that point, I'm more than likely I want to see the closure because it would be the fourth bullish candle to potentially another candle would also close above this resistance. That's other things to do. So I'm gonna head off here. I hope you have a lovely session. Yeah, manage your risk, don't over leverage. Remember, put that earning money on the back burner and just focus on the setup. I'm out.